Hello, my name is Steve Hobrecht, and I'm a program manager in the Azure IoT engineering team. And today I'm here to talk to you about the Azure IoT suite and building enterprise-grade solutions with it. What I'd like to show you now is a demo of the IoT pre-configured solutions and our first remote monitoring solution. Where I'm starting here is a provisioning portal that I've logged into with my Microsoft account and an Azure subscription. When I go to create, we offer a remote monitoring solution type. Coming soon, we'll have a predictive maintenance solution type, and we'll continue to extend other solutions as we see broad horizontal applicability of these solutions for IoT, so that the Azure IoT suite can be used by more and more customers across a variety of scenarios. When I select the solution that I want, I can go ahead and add a name. I pick the Azure region in which I want it deployed, and the subscription that I have, which I want to run the services under. When I say create, we're going ahead and provisioning these services for you. It will take just a few minutes to get them all set up and ready and deploy our pre-configured solution code that gives you a full end-to-end example of a very generic remote monitoring scenario. And the first thing I've presented with is my dashboard portal. This is an example of the kind of heads-up display one might have in a remote monitoring solution. On the left side, I see a map that shows me the 3 points or the locations of the devices that I'm tracking that are connected into my backend services. On the right side, you can see the real-time telemetry coming from a device. In this case, we have a simulator that's generating some fake temperature and humidity data. But it gives you an example of how that data can come into the system, be visualized in near real time, about every 10 seconds in this case. And you'll also see a very spiky pattern that we've generated some alarms so that we can capture threshold events and make the scenario a little bit real. On the back-end side, we provide the source code for this device simulator. So as you take the solution and start to think about how it applies to your business and the devices you're monitoring, you'll be able to change it very quickly and easily to track the kinds of telemetry that you might want to send, the value ranges that you wish, and then change the alarms and thresholds to meet your business conditions. On the left bottom here, I've got the list of alarms, and I'll show you in just a minute how those alarms are triggered. And then I've got the average, which is again showing how I can quickly aggregate data that's come in from the telemetry of the devices and visualize it in my dashboard. Underneath the covers, I've got a device list, and this shows the simulated device that I've instantiated. I've got 2 instances here, device 1 and device 2, with a little bit of top-level metadata, imagining that I've got a particular manufacturer and model number, serial number associated with those devices that I want to track. On the right side, I have richer metadata, such as a firmware version of the system or the processor it may be running. All of this is metadata examples of the types of things that you could collect from your device, which is really useful in modeling out the behaviors, understanding the data over time, grouping devices together and such. Now, one of the powerful things about Azure IoT services is that we allow two-way communication from the devices to the cloud and cloud back to the devices. So we've implemented an example here of sending commands from my cloud services in the IoT hub back to these simulated devices. We've implemented a few examples of command types that you might have, for instance, in a simple device, such as ping the device to see if it's responding, starting or stopping, and in maybe this case of a temperature device, I have a set point that I want to change on that device. When I click that command type, I simply give it a set point temperature that I wish, and I go ahead and send that command. Down below, you'll now see I've got a pending message that's going back to that device. And as I refresh, I'll see the progress of that device connecting and getting the data from the cloud service and responding back with success, yes, indeed, it has changed its set point temperature. Now, I mentioned the threshold rules that show up as alarms on the dashboard. We have a rules pane here where I can see I've got a rule for this device where I've set the temperature greater than 53 is going to generate my alarm. I may want to go ahead and change that. I can simply go to Edit Rule, change the threshold value, let's say to 57, and I can save that value. I can quickly and easily change these rules here through the visual interface, and what we're doing under the back end is changing some services and a job we have deployed in Stream Analytics that is tracking the incoming values, matching it against the threshold, and generating my alarm if it turns out to be true. Finally, I've got a list of actions here. These are the types of things that I can trigger when my rule events occur. And in the case here, we have a send message and a raise alarm, which is what I use to add the list of alarms that I show on the dashboard. Finally, we allow you to go ahead and add additional devices to extend and expand this scenario. I can do two things here. I can add a simulated device, which is another instance of the simulator that we have. So if you want to implement multiple devices and show it scaling out a little more broadly, you can add multiple simulated devices. We can also add custom devices. Using our device SDK, I can build, again, either simulated devices, or I can build real devices and agents that connect into this cloud service. And now I can bring those and incorporate them in this solution that I have and explore and expand the opportunities to gather more realistic data for my business and understand how I might leverage these types of solutions to change things. Let me go a little bit under the covers and talk about what we've deployed and provisioned when I go ahead and start that solution. As I mentioned before, the goal of the Azure IoT Suite and the pre-configured solutions is really to get you started quickly. In a matter of a few minutes, you're able to spin up a complete remote monitoring application, all the services underneath, working end-to-end, running through the simulated telemetry, showing you how all those services come together and deliver the kind of solution that adds value to your business. You'll be able to take that, modify it, create some new rules and alerts, add devices, additional devices or custom devices that you have, and really understand what type of solution that you want to build from that as you go towards pilots and productions. The goal is to get you set up with all the right pieces and have you understand how to take that forward and really build things out to full production. And that can entail things like fine-tuning with specific rules and business workflows and integrations with back-end systems, as well as rich visuals, create dashboards and multiple views depending on the types of users that may interact with the tool. That's a quick overview of the Azure IoT Suite and the pre-configured solutions. I invite you to come to internetofyourthings.com and get started. We have descriptions of everything I've showed here. We'll have links to documentation. We'll have links to the provisioning portal so you can go start right now with your solution and explore the services and the power that Azure has to offer. Thank you.